Good morning. I am presenting on behalf of Medicine 2. My topic name is predominant. I am presenting Mrs. X, 42 years female, housewife from West Bengal, presented with complaints of fever, which is low to high grade, intermittent, not associated with chills for 9 months, and history of multiple joint pain, small and large, for 9 months, but no history of swelling of joints, early morning stiffness, or Raynaud's phenomenon, oral ulcers, or hair fall. The history of dryness of skin and mouth for 6 months, but no history of dysphagia or skin tightness. History of itchy pigmented rashes over the elbow, hands, legs, and back of the body for past 3 to 4 months. History of loss of appetite and loss of weight, 5 kgs in 3 to 4 months. He had history of cough also with scanty expectoration for 1 month, and he had history of exgestional dyspnea with MMRC 1 to 2 gradually progressed to in 3 months, and there is no history of paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea or orthopnea, palpitations, or syncope. He had a history of she was admitted in May 2019 for the diagnosis of fever, cough, breathing difficulty, diagnosed with some pneumonia, treated with antibiotics, some steroids for a few weeks. There is no significant family history. On examination, she is afebrile, conscious, oriented, cooperative. She had pallor, clubbing at the grade 3. There is no icterus, cyanosis, lymphadenopathy, or pedal edema. Skin, she has diffuse xerosis with hyperpigmented macules over hands, both forearms and lower limbs. Lichenification noted over bilateral elbows. Hyperpigmented papules and post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation noted over the legs. And BP 130/80 mmHg, pulse 90 per minute, regular, all pupils felt. Systemic examination and CVS apex is normal position, and S1 S2 heard, no murmurs. Respiratory system, there are bilateral fine crepitations heard, basal. Per abdomen soft, no hepatomegaly, and no free fluid. CNS, there is no focal deficits. So he is a 48 years old female with no prior comorbidities, presented with syndrome of fever, polyarthralgia, skin lesions, and exgestional dyspnea. So initial differentials we thought, since he has polyarthralgia, some skin lesions, and the fever, so I thought of dermatomyositis. However, she didn't have any clinical signs of heliotrope rash and Guthrun's papules, and any proximal muscle weakness she didn't have. And Sjogren's syndrome, because you have dryness of mouth and dryness of skin and joint pains, and SLE had fever and polyarthralgia, some lupus like skin lesions we thought, and psoriatic got this with joint pains and scum lesions, but however she didn't have any distal interference is not involved, morely proximal interference joints only involved. And other differential is sarcoidosis without, and disseminated TB, extrapulmonary, and malignancy because of cough and loss of appetite, thought maybe solid organ, lung or GI tract, or some lymphoma, vasculitis. There is seropositive with opportunistic infections. We have evaluated her for the same. Investigation showed hemoglobin of 10.3 grams, which is anemia with normocytic. Total counts of 20,400 with the differentials 85,000. Platelets 3,74,000. Creatinine urine normal. LFT has mild hepatitis with SGOT 74 and 92 of SGPT. Her viral markers are negative. However, ANA came 2+ with anti-Golgi apparatus antibodies came 2+. However, C3 C4 was normal, and ELISA DSDN is normal, diet Coumadin is negative, rheumatoid factor is negative, anti-SSA, SSB bodies are negative, ELISA like anti-scleral 70 is negative, even RNA is negative, CNPN is negative, CRP was high, all blood cultures taken was negative. However, CT thorax showing features of interstitial lung disease with NSIP pattern, having ground glass opacity with interstitial thickening, and mild bronchiectasis in both lower lobes, and mosaic attenuation in both upper lobes, subpleural band-like opacities in both lower lobes, and had enlarged mediastinum and hilar nodes likely to be reactive. So even investigations all revealed only pattern of ILD. So we have worked up further for the ILD pattern. And spirometry showed restrictive pattern, the DLCO and 6-minute walk and lung volumes not done in view of poor effort. And so pulmonary consults taken and done EBUS, the mediastinal lymph node and ball was done, and TBLB fungal, PCP pneumonia was worked up, everything came negative. Bone marrow also normal, and EMG done but normal. Some lip biopsy done showing the minor salivary gland tissue with grade 3 chronic inflammation with focus score 1 with lips subjected Sjogren's syndrome. Then because ILD in predominant associated with more with inflammatory myositis, so we have done myositis profile test. Finally it came positive, so RO52 and PL7 came strong positive, and after that we have done for muscle biopsy also, and showing inflammatory myositis as a possibility. So the final diagnosis made like idiopathic inflammatory myopathy with predominant interstitial lung disease, NSIP pattern, diagnosed as anti-synthetase syndrome. Anemia is nutritional. So today I want to talk about on anti-synthetase syndrome. Is an autoimmune disease characterized by antibodies directed against amino acid transfer RNA synthetase. It includes interstitial lung disease, non-erosive arthritis, myositis, Raynaud's phenomenon, unexplained fever, skin lesions like mechanic hands. It is an idiopathic inflammatory myopathy, high prevalence of ILD compared to dermatomyositis or polymyositis. Prevalence is 1.5 per in million population, mainly adults, average 50 years, 20 to 22 to 74 years of age. Females are more predominant, 2 to 3% compared to males. Phenotypically, these patients all anti-synthetase syndrome often have signs and symptoms that overlap with other connective tissue disorders. There is a study, this anti-synthetase syndrome prevalence of ILD 86% is more common than prevalence of myositis 73% or arthralgia with arthritis 60%. Patients may not have classic myopathic symptoms as is disease defining in polymyositis, or the myositis may present later in the disease course. With patients having ILD with hyperkeratosis scaling of hands, that's called mechanic hands, we should all prompt further testing for the anti-synthetase antibodies with elevated muscle enzymes. So this like with the hyperkeratosis, scaling of hands. This with ILD, patient is having the mechanic hands, should think of like anti-synthetase also. There is a criteria, Conner's and Solomon criteria was mentioned. The presence of anti-amino acid DNA RNA synthesis antibodies plus one or more Raynaud's phenomena, arthritis, interstitial lung disease, or fever not attributable to any other cause with mechanic hands. According to Solomon criteria, like required presence of amino acid DNA synthesis antibodies plus one major or two minor criteria: interstitial lung disease or polymyositis or dermatomyositis, minor arthritis, Raynaud's phenomenon, and mechanic hands. In our patient, she has arthralgia and interstitial lung disease and had fever. There is a high index of suspicions when patient has idiopathic ILD with acute respiratory distress syndrome of unknown etiology, unexplained acute or chronic interstitial pneumonia, or unexplained ILD or acute lung injury. It can present with unexplained fever, arthritis, or ILD features. Autoantibodies with inflammatory with IMM, a variety of myospecific and associated autoantibodies have been described, frequently tested with an evaluation of idiopathic ILD. The hallmark of myositis specific anti-synthetase antibodies will be present. The absence of autoantibodies does not exclude the disease, because sometimes the lab may not contain having the same autoantibodies presenting. The test may then be having, or because they may progress to later stage as the disease progress. There are some autoantibodies here. In our patient is anti-PL7 and anti-RO is a positive. Radiological features, they have traction bronchiectasis or ground glass opacities and reticulation. The CT patterns most often identified by non-specific interstitial pneumonia or organizing pneumonia. And the treatment part is like with pulsing steroids with 1 mg per kg, second line immunosuppression with azothioprine or mycophenolate or tacrolimus, rituximab, cyclophosphamide or IVIG. So in our patient we pulsed her and started on 1 milligram per kg steroids and started on cyclophosphamide. The survival rate, the patients with anti-PL7 or PL12 autoantibodies, they will have aggressive ILD and decreased survival to 5 years. Patients without muscle weakness and with severe dyspnea have decreased survival. And patients with JO1 have more myositis and better prognosis compared to PL7 or PL2 presence of autoantibodies. So in our patient, I called the patient and back, she's doing well, she don't have any fever and she's doing well. Take home message, think of antisynthetase syndrome, unexplained fever, arthritis with the ILD. Absence of autoantibodies does not exclude the disease.
Comments, questions?
We had a government PhD doctor who came with an antisynthetase syndrome, and I'm sorry I missed the initial part of what you had presented, but he did come with a progressive, the ILD was only picked up on imaging finally because he was very asymptomatic other than for a generalized myalgia. He just had an ANA positivity and nothing else in the initial workup, didn't even manifest his myositis actually. And but over the course of monitoring him, because we knew something was up and we still didn't have, that's when he developed the clinical features. Now unfortunately he developed a TB in the middle of this because he was practicing actively, he was on steroids, he developed TB, and that's when his ILD also worsened. The TB was lymphadenopathy, but he worsened with his ILD, and that time we actually thought we'd lose him. But because of that, with Rumat, we had given him IVIG along with steroids, and he actually recovered. So the prognosis is fairly dismal according to what literature says, but somehow we are having, it's unusual at best. I'm not saying it's a usual cause of things. So fortunately, he's doing well. So I don't know if there's an ethnicity to it that makes us think, but if you look at all literature, it's usually he was anti-PL7 and 12 positive. So, and he had more dyspnea than all of those bad criteria that you mentioned. But so he did well with this IVIG thing combination because of the TB, and we couldn't change his immunosuppression at that time. Now, just a comment in terms of seeing a similar patient who was proven to be antisynthetase. But as you said, it's a spectrum, can be very mild, can brew up to something that's quite nasty. So you just have to kind of keep them under monitoring and decide when you need to do the tests, because all of those tests are expensive. The myositis entire profile.
What's the experience of other units on antisynthetase syndrome? We had one patient who we presented in the non-COVID effects of the lockdown. So this patient was diagnosed with antisynthetase syndrome, started on therapy, improved, then couldn't access the immunosuppression and came actually with a relapse. And is settled down right now. So.
I have one patient whom I follow up. He has a classic mechanic hands, ILD, and he does have a lot of symptoms related to his muscle. He's on mycophenolate and doing well. He will have occasional exacerbations, which will become better with some short course of steroids. Overall, he's doing okay, but he does have significant ILD. I would say probably he's coming for the last 4 years maybe. So he's okay.